Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. I am not part of a cult, but I look totally sweet in a robe. That's a true story. Sometimes it just makes me feel freer, if you know what I mean. We'll leave it at that. We got some new Q posts for you, just a couple of them, and I'm going to make this rather quick because I'm working on your videos. But first things first, I want to thank you all for helping me get over 20,000 subscribers. All of you except for Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, of course. But the rest of you know exactly what happens when we celebrate around here. That's right, folks. Cake. And I got a big old fat cake right here. Look at this thing. It looks like a chocolate fence. Because they were like, build that wall. But then they realized that they built it around a bunch of strawberries. And now the strawberries are captive. And they want to get out because they want to be free-range strawberries. So you can cut a piece of cake and release those poor strawberries. And you see over here, you got a chocolate stick. He looks like he's getting along just fine with that strawberry. He's looking at the strawberry like, look, I don't judge you because you're bright red and you got a bunch of seeds all over your face. And she's like, I know, right? I don't judge you because you're chocolate and all wrapped up. So have a piece of cake. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for all your love, all your support, all your comments, all your criticisms, all your witticisms, all your cynicisms, and what-if-isms. Thank you so much. Have yourself a piece of cake. And here's a special little birthday cake for one of my longtime listeners, Miss Leo, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. No, I did not forget about you at all. Here is your own special little Leo cake. They were supposed to put Miss Leo on it, but I guess they missed that part. All right. Happy birthday to you. Let's get to some Q. Post 1818, 38 minutes after the hour of 12 EST, 138 EDT. We get this HRC tweet, which is rather appropriate because the tweet is from HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton. At King James is a great family man, incredible ball player, gives back to his community, and isn't afraid to speak his mind. He's a world-class athlete and a class act. We need more like him in this world. Nice. And then we get this picture right here, HRC statement, 2008, Bird. Regarding Robert Byrd, KKK member, from my first day in the Senate, I sought out his guidance, and he was always generous with his time and wisdom. And as Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. Hillary Clinton, 2008. And there, as you can see, homeboy's going for the gold in that picture. Good Lord. And down here, he's got a robe, too. And a mask. I don't have a mask with my robe, though. He's got a big one with a big plus on his face. Maybe he likes addition. And see over here, he's got multiplication on his shoulder. So he just likes math, probably. Or maybe that's a big old cross and he's just a Christian. Well, it says it's time to learn the truth. Reconcile. Q. Well, we go back here to the tweet. Of course, Hillary Clinton is tweeting at King James, and King James, of course, is
LeBron James.
That's right, LeBron James, who recently signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. He has been very openly critical of President Trump as of late, hasn't he? Now, a little unfairly, I might add, but that is his right as an American citizen to do so. He hasn't been vulgar or violent in any way, shape, or form, and he is a great family man. He's an incredible ball player. He does give back to his community, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. I think those are all good things to see in a person. But I'll tell you this, when I'm looking for leadership within the political realm, you know what I look for? I look for morals, I look for values, I look for integrity, voting consistency. I also tend to look for two-way small forwards who are about 6'8", can post up and play the flex offense. And you know who that is?
LeBron James.
That's right, LeBron James. So look, he is a great family man. It seems that way, right? He's most certainly an incredible basketball player, no doubt. And he does give back to his community. He just opened up a school, and you can't really hate on a guy for that. Now, there's going to be a lot of people saying, Patrick, you need to do more research on LeBron James. Didn't you see all the Illuminati hand signs and things like that? I have. I'm a mad NBA basketball fan, and I've seen all that stuff. And yes, I do think it's creepy, and I do think it's concerning. However, there's really nothing on
LeBron James
that we can say that guy's a flat-out creep. Okay, I don't think it's fair or responsible to nail everybody who does that kind of stuff. It does concern me, and I do think it's something to keep our eye on, but we're not really talking about
LeBron James,
are we? We're talking about Hillary Clinton. So let's talk about Hillary Clinton. She's down here saying he's a great family man, incredible ball player, gives back to his community. Yeah, we just went over that. That's all great. Cool stuff, Hillary, but I thought you weren't really into black people that much. After all, isn't this your boy right here? Robert Byrd, KKK member. From my first day in the Senate, I sought out his guidance, and he was always generous with his time and his wisdom. And as Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. Hillary Clinton, 2008. Well, let's talk a little bit about this Mr. Robert Byrd. Robert Carlisle Byrd, born Cornelius Calvin Sale Jr., which sounds nothing like Robert Carlisle Byrd, must be a stage name, was an American politician who served as a United States Senator from West Virginia from 1959 to 2010. A member of the Democratic Party, Byrd previously served as a U.S. Representative from 53 until 59. He was the longest-serving senator in the United States history. In addition, he was, at the time of his death, the longest-serving member in the history of the United States Congress. Well, thank you for your service, Mr. Byrd. Can I just call you Cornelius for short? Let's take a look at you here. He filibustered against the 1964 Civil Rights Act and supported the Vietnam War. Wait a minute, what? I thought you were a Democrat. That doesn't sound right. We better look into you, Cornelius. Uh-oh. In the early 1940s, Byrd recruited 150 of his friends and associates to create a new chapter of the Ku Klux Klan in Sophia, West Virginia. Wait a minute, that's not an inclusive group. According to Byrd, a Klan official told him, "You have a talent for leadership, Bob. The country needs young men like you in the leadership of the nation." Byrd later recalled, "Suddenly, lights flashed in my mind. Someone important had recognized my abilities. I was only 23 or 24 years old, and the thought of a political career had never really hit me. But strike me that night, it did." Byrd became a recruiter and leader of his chapter. When it came time to elect the top officer in the local Klan unit, Byrd won unanimously, and the top officer was called an exalted Cyclops. So let me just stop right there. If I'm understanding this correctly, currently we have thousands of people calling QAnon followers cultish. Meanwhile, Cornelius over here was elected exalted Cyclops. Now, never in my life have I ever been elected exalted anything, much less Cyclops. And Cyclops means only one eye, and that sounds creepy, Cornelius. Besides, the Ku Klux Klan, that's not an inclusive group. They keep certain kinds of people out. He said in 1944, "I shall never fight in the armed forces with a Negro by my side. Rather, I should die 1,000 times and see Old Glory trampled in the dirt, never to rise again, than to see this beloved land of ours become degraded by race mongrels, a throwback to the blackest specimens from the wild." That's really not uplifting at all. So you see what's going on. Byrd's a real charmer. And he was a mentor to Hillary Clinton. Well, let's take a look at Robert Byrd Cornelius's role as an exalted Cyclops, which doesn't sound creepy at all. Looks like before that, he was a Kleagle, a field organizer over a certain territory or part of a realm. And you know, a Kleagle is a Klansman and an eagle put together, and you have Kleagle, which, if you ask me, is kind of a stupid name. You could also be a Grand Goblin or an Imperial Kleagle, Imperial Klonsel. Klonsel, Kleagle, what are we, elves? Exalted Cyclop, president of the Clavern. Ah, that must be Klansman Tavern. Yeah, because Tansman would be kind of counterintuitive to the Ku Klux Klan, I suppose. Anyway, so we got a bunch of dumb names here. Claylift, Clokard, Cligraph, Clorogo, Clad, Cloaken, Clud, Clayby. You got Clexter, Outer Guard. What are we doing, jiu-jitsu here? You got weird names. You guys are weird. You guys have racist ideas, and I'm not sure I like your names, so I don't want to join your crew. This is a dumb crew. We're moving on. Well, here we have a clear picture of a Clinton kissing on Robert Byrd, but you can call him Cornelius, who's a Kleagle in charge of the Klonsel at the Clavern, in charge of the whole realm, which sounds super satanic to me, but what would I know? After all, I follow QAnon, which must mean I'm in the cult. And I guess that would make IPOT calling the kettle black. Okay, anyway, Q says it's time to learn the truth. Well, let's take a look at another one of Hillary Clinton's mentors. Well, here's a nice little graphic regarding one of Hillary Clinton's other influences, Miss Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. Hillary says, top left here, I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision, and taking on archetypes, taking on attitudes and accusations flowing from all directions. I am really in awe of her. And there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from her life and from the cause she launched and fought for and sacrificed so bravely. Sounds good enough. Well, let's check out Margaret Sanger, what she got to say. What are you all about, Margaret Sanger? Colored people are like human weeds and need to be exterminated. God, dog, that's a terrible opening line, Margaret. Dial it back a little bit. Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood on October 16, 1916, in order to eliminate what she thought were inferior races like Orientals, Jews, and blacks. She referred to them as human weeds. Her father was the village atheist. She died an alcoholic and drug addict. This is from Passport Magazine, July 1988. Well, Margaret Sanger, another charmer. You know who would like you, Margaret? Sarah Jong. Yeah, you guys would get on great. As a matter of fact, I would love to see the two of you get together, maybe play Yahtzee or something. That'd be a hoot, wouldn't it? Let's see what she's got to say over here. We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. God dog, Margaret. You know what? You suck at being nice. That's what I think. Well, here's another big influence from Miss Hillary Clinton. On the bottom here, it says it's time to learn the truth. And Q says reconcile. Q. Well, Robert Byrd, Mr. Cornelius, already left. He's left for another realm. But Clinton lives on. And on. And I think we'd all like to see her reconcile for her crimes. We're all pretty sure that they're pretty heinous. And it's not much speculation at this point. We've proven it time and time again. It seems that all these deep state knuckleheads, just like Rome, all the roads lead back to Clinton, right? So hopefully we'll get some sort of reconciliation very soon, because I think we're all looking very forward to that day. Now, incidentally, I looked at this picture a little further and I noticed this guy had a little cut on his thumb. I wouldn't have thought anything of it, really. Probably pretty normal stuff. But considering he's kind of culty, kind of creepy. After all, he's a Kleagle in charge of a whole console. So I did a little searching, not much. Took me right here, 17-page document. The Complete Guide to Satanism, the ONA way. And I like this because this is part 1. It says practical. That's all I want. Just give me the practical application. So we're going to find out here. Oh, incidentally, I tried to find out who wrote this. And all I could find was in the appendix, Satan, a note on the word. So I guess Satan stopped in to write his footnotes. But I couldn't find the author. It's probably in here somewhere. I just haven't seen it from top to bottom, but maybe I'm missing it. Anyway, let's look at step 1. The Pledge of Satanic Allegiance. To become a Satanist, you simply make a pledge of allegiance to Satan and pledge yourself to follow the satanic way of life. This can be done in 2 ways. First, it can be done by yourself, alone, which is lame. Second, it can be done with a friend or some friends who also desire to become Satanist. Yikes. The Pledge of Satanic Allegiance can take place at any time and anywhere, indoors or out. Nice. So it can fit your schedule, kids. And no special preparation is necessary or required, so just add Satan. Although if desired and practical, it can be undertaken in a darkened area with subdued lighting, the source of which is not important, and with the ONA sigil, if possible, colored purple on a black background, in a prominent position and drawn or reproduced on some material or on a banner. For the pledgeling, you and each other participant, if any, will require a small piece of white paper. Okay, does it need to be like notebook paper or what? The actual size, oh, there you go. The actual size and type of paper are not important. Good to know. A sharp knife of the hunting or survival kind, and if possible, a sheath for the knife, plus a small receptacle or container suitable for burning the paper in. Well, now it's starting to sound more complicated. You and each other participant, if any, then say, and I'm not going to say that because that's creepy stuff. You can see it. Then it says, you and each other participant, if any, then make a small cut on your left thumb with the knife and allow several drops of your blood to fall onto the paper. You then place the paper into the small container and set it alight. As it burns, you and each other participant, if any, then say, and then there's some more charmed stuff there that you can say if you want, I guess. Anyway, this is, sounds pretty culty to me. I find it very ironic. Everyone keeps calling QAnon cult. That sounds a little culty to me. Well, I don't know if Mr. Byrd was involved in all that stuff, but he was a Kleagle in a Clonsel and a Clavern. I'm just saying. I don't know how deep that runs. I just think it's creepy. And I do know this. I sure look forward to seeing the day when Miss Hillary Clinton finally reconciles. Let's move on. Post 1819, Q says, trip update. Q lets us know they're going to update the trip code, which is this right here, and comes back 2 minutes later. Trip update confirmed, and we see the new code right here. And for those of you who are curious, you can take this and plug it into Google Books. The book section right here, just enter the trip code and click over here, and this is what you'll find. Now, in this one in particular, I'll leave this link here for you because I had to get it off of Reddit. For some reason, it was difficult to pull this off of Google. That may have changed since then, but that was my experience. So I pulled this off of Reddit, and I'll leave it down below. Here are some of the titles. Know the name, know the person, how a name can predict thoughts. I wonder what Sir Patrick Mack is. It's probably awesome. We are anonymous. Beginning JavaScript. Our country, our world. Game design workshop. A play-centric approach to creating innovative something or other. And the man in the computer. The man in the computer is a fantasy story about a tiny man that goes inside someone's computer to help attack aliens in a computer game. Wow, that's a sentence that just got better as it went on. And then the last one here is text compression. So if you want to look at some of this related material to the new trip code, there you have it. Really some interesting looking titles there, particularly the man in the computer. I'm interested in that one. So there you go. I would imagine Q is updating the trip code because we're getting a lot of attacks, aren't we? We're getting a lot of attacks online, particularly on Twitter, Facebook, all the social media as usual. But it's been even more so, particularly this week, and it's been a pretty violent week as well. Chicago had a really, really rough weekend, and it's been getting rough out there. And I have a feeling it's going to be like that for a little bit. It's unfortunate. And I guess maybe this is part of our growing pains as a nation that we're experiencing in this next transitional phase as we move into, I think, hopefully, a return to some values and some friendly neighborhoods and inclusivity, real inclusivity. So we'll see how it all goes down. I do think you're seeing a lot of fake MAGA supporters come out of the woodwork. As you can see on Twitter, Jack Posobiec came out, started bashing Q. A lot of people bashing Q. And I do think it's important to engage them on Twitter. We don't necessarily have to go on their platforms because, like I said, that's not really a home game. But we can meet them on social media. We still know how to do that a lot better. We're better meme makers. And you know what? I would also encourage you to remember, too, that it's very, very possible that a lot of these fake MAGA supporters could very well be fake MAGA supporters. Remember, actors are acting. But look, at the end of the day, they're going to try and hit us with the cult talk. They're going to try and hit us with the racist talk. They're going to try and hit us with the Nazi talk. It's nothing that we haven't heard. And although it's rough and it's ugly, I think, like always, take a knee, put your shield up, and as soon as it passes, we move forward. This is a day-by-day battle. And look, as far as this channel is concerned, I don't care where you're from, what color you are, what nation you're from. Always remember the strawberry and the chocolate stick. You see, the chocolate stick doesn't judge the strawberry because it's red and has seeds all over its face and is a little fat. And the strawberry doesn't judge the chocolate because it can melt in the sun. So they just hang out in a cool, dry place. And I don't know if we're learning anything from that story, but you get the idea. You're all welcome here is what I'm trying to say. All right, we're inclusive. We're loving people. We're patriots. We're good people. And good always wins. Right? Good always wins. So keep it cool. Keep it loving. Keep it active. Keep participating. And enjoy the ride, folks. Amazing times that we live in. Truly. It may seem ugly on the exterior, but on the interior, it's a very, very beautiful thing, and you are very beautiful people. All right. Those are your Q posts. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to all of you who have been sharing my videos. I really appreciate it so much. You guys help me out so much. I can't tell you how much you guys mean to me. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for all your videos that you've been sending me too. They're really, really fun to watch. It's taken a little bit of time to try and watch them all and save them all and everything, but I really appreciate it. We'll get something good going out with that very soon as well too. All my links are down below. My Gab, my BitChute, my Twitter at IPOT 1776. That's IPOT 1776. My email, and if you can, it always helps me out. Please visit my Patreon link down below. All of those links are down below. I repeat, all of those links are down below. I had a ton of questions just yesterday asking about my email. It's down below in the video description. Please check down there. All right, guys, thank you very much for all you do, and I will catch you on the next video. Until then, this is Sir Patrick Mack. Stay optimistic. There's a lot to be optimistic about.